I was trying to get into this friendship thing.
Good afternoon, evening, morning. I don't even know what I say anymore, so that is that. Welcome to the first episode, and well, maybe possibly the only episode. We're gonna see how well this goes. I filmed this before, but welcome to the group chat. I have been very blessed and very lucky to have 6 lovely ladies be my best friends for over 5 years now. And you know what? It's one of those ones where you're always in the group chat, you're looking at other podcasts, you know, we could do that, we could do that, you know, we could do that and we could do it well because we have some entertaining to us conversations in the group chat. So I thought, why not put it to the test? So today I am going to be joined by my lovely friends, virtually over Zoom, and we're gonna get talking. So yeah, before I do that, if you could like, comment and subscribe, that'd be great because I'm probably just gonna end the video when I'm on the call with them. Let's dive into the group chat. This is the group chat. These are the 6 beautiful people that have agreed, somewhat forced, into doing this episode. Yes, I'm gonna go around, introduce everyone as I can see them on my screen. So on my left-hand side, you have Nia, that's the wave, the wink. Then you have Fazana on your right, or Faz. Then you have Ange, bottom, middle. Then you have in the middle, you have Tilly.
Did you really try to call that?
The middle.
Like, can we just take a minute for that? But let's rewind.
It has 6 on the bottom, that's why. And anyway, this is B on the bottom right, and then you have Demeji right at the bottom there. So as a background, we have been friends for 5 years. 5 years?
Well, some of us a bit longer.
That's actually long.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can go with that.
We'll delve into that. Some of us a bit longer, some of us maybe not so much longer at this rate. We've been friends 5 years. We just had a moment where we've decided that we could definitely do this. We've seen a lot of people doing podcasts, so here we are. We're here to put our wisdom into the world, or maybe just try and get through the next hour.
Think very highly of ourselves.
Yeah, we're definitely the most talented bunch of people out there.
It's for us to think that people would care what we have to say.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, we believe in ourselves, and that's the main thing we're doing this. Anyway,
Who else is going to believe in us?
the first episode, we're going to talk about staying friends in your 20s.
First episode? Make it like we have to come back. Did you not sign a contract?
They were told to make you, this is a
No one
series.
said there was more. What? I thought I was doing a one-time thing there. I can't even realize. Maybe as soon as you entered this Zoom call, it automatically signed a contract saying Sandy has us on life now.
So anyway, the first episode, we're going to talk about staying friends in your 20s, building relationships in your 20s. Maybe we can start with, how do you reckon that, you know, we were friends at school, so we went to sixth form together. How do you think, you know, we've gone through uni, how have we managed to stay friends during, I feel like quite like a difficult time, maybe, in your early 20s? A pandemic.
A whole pandemic, yeah.
Whole pandemic. Anyone wanna...
I think the pandemic brought us closer, no? And he did more.
It brought us like more in touch more often.
Yeah, we actually talked more during the pandemic.
And I feel like that's how we keep in touch anyway. Like, I feel like the reason why we're still in touch is because we talk on our group chat, like, pretty much daily, even if it's like about nothing in particular, just, and like with the pandemic, it's forced everything online anyway. And that's kind of how we communicated, because we're not all geographically in the same place anymore.
This is
We
true.
haven't been in a long time.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes us very unique because we're a friendship group in like
Long distance friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Demeji and B, do you want to explain where you guys are?
What you did to
Yeah.
portray us.
Cue to Meiji and
I'll
me.
do this flex. I'm ready.
So I'm currently in Chicago.
I live in New Haven. That's fun.
Where do you go?
Why do you?
Why are you there?
Haven?
Why are you there?
So basically, this is all Beatrice's fault. So because of Beatrice, I decided to apply to university in America, and I go to Yale, and that's the story basically.
Which is so mean.
IIT, which is like a tiny tech school, but I love it. No, actually, I'm really grateful for like the weekly lockdown quizzes that we did, because I feel like it definitely brought us closer. And yeah, like before, I definitely, like, I feel like COVID in that sense was like a blessing a little bit, because we like were able to spend more time with each other, and it was a good time.
We know we've always been like close and there's a special bond, and like, but I feel like there was like an element of like disconnect in that a lot of times when we met up or like we would catch up, especially with like B, I think that it was like we didn't really know what was going in the day to day anymore, whereas I feel like at school we were so used to knowing, like, you know, we were together stupid amounts of the day, like a lot of the time of the day, and then going from that like that to uni, I feel like I probably struggled with the most maybe out of the group, because I felt like lockdown was good because it kind of like, you know, like now I feel like I see you all the time even though I haven't seen you in person.
I feel like one thing that has changed about our like friendships leaving school, where like obviously when we were all at school together, our friendships were based on us like making memories together and like having experiences. But now that we're not all together, I feel like our friendships are based on us looking back at those experiences. I feel like we spend a lot of time reminiscing about stuff that we have done.
Sad. That sounds so sad that we just.
That sounds sad. Yeah. Oh my
No,
god.
we do make new memories when we can, but obviously in the pandemic, like obviously we've done
It's
a lot of
difficult to
quizzes.
make those memories. Yeah.
I feel like when we left school, I always knew that we were like going to stay as close as we were, but I feel like, I mean, actually maybe not as close as we are now, but I knew we'd stay like friends. Like when we made friends, and I think the fundamental bit was making friends in sixth form, I feel like was different to making friends in lower school, because I think we all kind of
Also have such pride and dignity that I don't think we could ever lose this friendship, because we're just so convinced in ourselves that we're always going to remain BFFs forever. So like we can't ever let that go.
I mean, we have like a group main character complex, but like our friendship's the main character, if that makes sense.
yes.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's
Like, we're
nicely put.
obsessed with this friendship. Like we think everyone's looking at us like, wow, look how great they are. Look
Wow.
how great the friendship
But
is.
really, no one
No one
cares.
is.
We know no one cares.
It's like, what if someone from school sees this? It's like, no, they definitely are not like clicking
Yeah,
on.
no one's gonna care to sit down and actually listen to us speak.
But like, do you think that looking back, when you all, I guess, entered this friendship, do you think that you thought we would remain friends into our like early 20s?
I do think so. I think kind of building what you're saying about like, because we all became friends in sixth form, I feel like we very much all chose to be friends with each other. Like it's not a friendship of convenience. Like it's not convenient to have friends in like halfway across the world or like spread out across the country. So I think because we just enjoy being like spending time together so much, we have very much chosen to be friends, and that's why it's lasted. Like in sixth form, it's not like we were in the same classes, we all took different subjects, all in different classes. It wasn't just because we were like thrown together, we like actively chose to
Well,
form
we were
friendships.
kind of thrown together in tutor time. Like
Yeah,
that's how we
true,
were
true.
forced together.
I got myself moved
together.
so I could be with you guys.
You did. Oh my god!
My dedication,
What, really?
Mia?
Yeah,
I wasn't meant to be in your form.
No way.
Did you not know this?
Mia really sacrificed her own life for this group, basically.
I did. I didn't
Without
even
that,
know
yes,
that.
sacrificed her own life for this.
When you went to uni, did you have a point where you wished or were like, I'm struggling to maintain those connections with people at home, or I feel like I'm changing and I'm not able to communicate this?
Definitely, I think there was a period of time where we weren't not as close, we just weren't as connected. Where like we didn't speak as often, we'd only see each other on holidays and things. We just like, we were so focused on like our new period of our lives, like I didn't really know what was going in as much. And when we'd come back and we'd all be back together, it was still like really nice and we still got on really well. And we just like have to do the catch up from like the previous 3 months.
Yeah, we used to have to do
I
I remember all the catch ups. Like
yeah,
it
we'd
would
go
be
for
every
dinner and
term.
we'd be sat somewhere for like 6 hours, going round and like
Going round, yeah.
tell me in detail what's happened in your life for the last 3 months. But I don't think that's like, that wasn't a bad thing, because
No, I don't think
like that's what we needed, and we're still just as close now. So I don't think it was a bad thing, but there was definitely a period where we weren't as like interconnected.
I think it helps to be in the major in America as well, because like, we have to.
What, to stay connected or that we weren't connected?
Yeah, it helps that the two members, our two least favorite members, are gone.
As in, like, oh,
Yeah, it helps us.
I realised that sounded
They
mean.
weren't there.
Just as in, like, we know that we have to make the effort. Do you know? Oh god, this is just coming out so badly.
Yes, we
But
have
as
to
in,
make
like,
effort.
when people are literally in different time zones, then like it works to like chat on the group chat all the time and like build that up. So it's like we kind of have to do it, so then it works out more. That didn't.
It's like that continuous conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes.
I just know she's gonna say something mean.
Yeah, no, I was going to say something mean, but I might not say it.
No, say it.
I would like purposely wait till I know that like someone's in bed and then reply, and then I would be bothered when I do finally reply. And then But then that way, like the conversation doesn't happen. But that's just more of a reflection on just me being like, oh, I can't want to do that now, as opposed to like the group in general. Do you know what I mean? But
I'm gonna keep.
But like, I guess.
Oh, but honestly, same. And I thought it was just me.
Like a sex, please. Thank you, B. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. I don't think it like made a huge difference to the connection, but maybe just like the communication. Because sometimes I'll wake up and it's like, oh, like all the jokes have been had, and I would have had something funny to say. You know what I mean? But the time has gone. Like the conversation has gone, so I can't contribute to that. So I think that like sometimes the little like conversations here and there, but as opposed to like connection and feeling like a part of the group or whatever, I didn't think it's like been a crazy like affected that much, basically.
I definitely agree with Demeji. Like it's like the little things that made it harder that I wasn't expecting, like that would make it hard. So like the time difference, I guess, was kind of an issue sometimes, I guess. Not like a big issue, but just like obviously it was annoying, it got in the way. This year has made it like easier for us to like reconnect kind of thing. And so like yeah, it was like hard, but also not, because social media. So there's that.
There's a show on it where your friends pick, like they literally do this where they like pitch you to someone and they pick your dates.
I would love that for you to do that for me, guys.
Like,
I would wholeheartedly, yeah.
Man.
What do we want?
We haven't done anything so far, have you, Matilda?
No. But I could.
We were looking for a man for Faz. What would we be looking for? Like, what would our criteria be? Like for Faz?
I think someone more submissive. I think Faz is quite a leading No, not in that sense. Just like in all the ways. Faz is quite a dominating character. You know, not a dominant person.
Thank you.
It would have to be like Faz's level of funny and like wacky. 100%. You know what I mean? But like chill at the same time.
I think the also
and be able to take her very blunt.
Yeah, that is a very major key in my life.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Money.
Yeah, rich.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you guys
don't
are
have time.
nice there. Like, oh yeah, someone funny. Not
money.
Not necessarily rich.
No, I'm not. Yeah, not
with
rich, but like, yeah.
Someone that's like got goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
the mindset. It's about the mindset.
Exactly. It's all about the mindset.
I don't care about what is in your bank account right now, but what's happening in the next 5 years.
As with an older man, like not much older, but like.
True, I can see it. Yeah.
Not in a way that's odd.
Not a creepy way, but like, also I don't find a lot of things creepy. So.
Yeah.
Your age, what would be your age limit though? Like what's the youngest and oldest you date?
Youngest, like literally 20, like could not be like oldest, like didn't say 29, 30.
This segue.
Huh?
What?
You try that again?
This segues us nicely in talking about relationships in your 20s and
Oh my god.
Let's go based off this. What do you think you're looking for in your early 20s, and does the girls group chat have an impact on that?
No. About good.
So you wouldn't care what we thought? You wouldn't care what we thought about potential?
I'm not gonna live with you guys. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
You're not.
No, I'm joking. I think
we're living together in New York.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, I forgot that plan. Shit. I didn't know about that.
Sorry, this is happening.
You missed the plan before you joined the group. Sorry. Oh, right. Obviously, I think it's like upon like the first 3 like or 4 impressions. If it's like weird and you guys don't like him, then there's a problem. So you guys are. I think like
fundamentally, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between like maybe like if I'm like he's funny and you guys like he's not funny. That's like different, right? If you guys like this is just weird vibes, then there is a problem, because I think as a group of people we can get along with anyone else. Correctly. So I think if there's not like one person that the significant other is not like okay with, then I think that's like a bit of a red flag, because it's like, well then I don't know. I think they should be able to get along with all of us. Like
to be devil's advocate here, do you think that's actually like I
cannot believe those words just came out of your mouth.
Yeah. Are you
some finance bro?
Are you a white finance bro?
You're a politics major. A white
advocate.
A white politics major.
Throw it in there. Like I obviously would want them, my other half, wherever they are to get like to be friends with all of you. But do you think that's slightly problematic? Like, do you think every other friendship group should be aimed at? Because we're all quite different personalities, like respectively, that we gel together well. But do you think that applies to our other halves?
Right,
Not
okay,
friends necessarily, just get along.
I do think about this. I don't think your partners have to be friends with your friends.
No,
I actually
just get along.
really don't think that, because I actually think it gets complicated that way. And like when my friends have partners, they're very much like, that's their relationship to me. Like that's my friend's partner. But it doesn't mean that we're not like friendly and we don't get on. But like I feel like it gets a bit weird sometimes if those lines like blur. That's not to say that I don't think they should be able to get on. Like I think it's nice to be able to bring them to like social situations and get on. I think it's just a good character as well. If the people that you really like the person you like, it's just quite a good
I also
thing.
don't think
you don't have to be best friends.
I think in our like as a group as well, we're not like overly opinionated in the sense that we would like attack someone for no reason. So, like there would have to be like for other people I mean
overly
like,
so opinionated.
That's actually so opinionated. But as in, obviously, if it's someone's significant other, that it would actually have to be like a genuinely like serious like concern. And I just don't think that we're also like very like okay people. Like we just accept some stuff. Like that's like with. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't think we would go out of our way. We don't have any hidden agendas as well. I think like we all honestly want the best for all of our like friends. So yeah, I think if people in this group specifically like had an issue, that would like be a major concern. But I can understand it in other people's groups where people don't take those concerns as seriously because they know that their friends have like quite outrageous opinions on people, if that makes sense.
What do you guys think the idea of like you should be friends with someone first and then be in a relationship with them? Like do you think that like should always be the case? Do you think that works? Do you think it doesn't?
I think a lot of people use that, like e.g. even myself in the past have used it as like I was friends with them, but like how long were you friends with them for? Does that make sense? Like people be like, oh, we're friends first, but like actually they were friends for like a month, 2 months, and then they started seeing that other person in a different way, or like even just had like a different like reflection on them. And I think that subconsciously, unless you've been friends for like 10 years or like years and you've just genuinely been friends, maybe seen that other person date people, I think that a lot of the time this friends first, actually there was always something underlying there, just that maybe you just never gave it the right, like we never gave it the attention or thought, like headspace kind of thing.
Yeah, that does make sense, because I feel like people who are my friends, like genuinely my like really close friends, I couldn't imagine ever dating them. So I think that's why I'm like, was there something always there, or did you just randomly wake up one day and was like, I've been in love the whole time, or like I'm gonna give this a go?
It's very like movie moment thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like people try to replicate it in real life when sometimes it's not necessary, and like it complicates things.
But also I think sometimes, like I've seen it in other friendship groups where people like reject men, like you should be friends with them first, like don't fall for this guy, like don't go out looking for it, which is like obviously good advice, but then girls and guys also use it as like we were friends first, but just to like kind of justify it, like how you're saying, it's not by force to be friends first. Like if you meet someone that is romantic straight away, like that's also fine.
Yeah, I think it's actually easier when it's not friends first. I think it complicates things when it's friendship first, because you're like, you don't want to ruin the friendship, you have like rah. But like when you're like going into it knowing that you want to like pursue something with, like you already know the agendas of both people, like you know that you want to take it this way, like this is what you want to do to move forward.
So I can't speak to the success rate of conversions from like friendship to relationships or whatever, but I think I'm more for the side of being friends with someone first, just because not even like I was romantically like in love with them, but we were friends. I think just from being friends with people, you just notice things, and I don't think I would have noticed that if we were dating, or maybe if we were dating, that would have actually really upset me. But then I was in that position, so I felt fine. Like you realize that people don't show you their true selves when they're dating you. Like they show that their best selves to you. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like this is like a very like not random thing, but like I think we always say that you never get with anyone who doesn't like agree with you like socially or things like that. Like for example, something as simple as like being a feminist, right? I feel like on a date, if you just ask a guy that, I honestly think that some of them might say yes but don't actually mean it. Does that make sense? Like they might say yes because of the implications of what saying no means, versus if you know someone 3-4 months, you guys maybe are just like friendly, whatever, hi bye type thing, And then you realize the way they actually speak about girls, speak about women, and then you're like, oh, yikes. So whether or not you like them or you didn't like them, I also not lie about things all the time, but I think like we all do it. Like you meet someone and you tend to think, oh, how am I going to look to that person, right? So if it was dating, you'd obviously want to look your best, I think, as opposed to the low states of like a friendship. Like you see that person more clearly, and I think they show you a more clear version of themselves because there's less at stake, I think, anyway.
I feel like,
but obviously I think that like if you guys are like genuinely friends and then you don't want to ruin the friendship and all that stuff, it definitely like complicates things too.
I do feel like though that I kind of, Neil was saying earlier, is you have like people you're friends with and then you're friends with. Do you know what I mean? Like my friends. Then like I feel like there's people in my life who I'm just not attracted to in any way. Like I have really close friends who are boys, but it would never ever happen because it just wouldn't. But like the friends that I have got with or had things with, there's always been like a certain implication there, like from the start, or like something slightly different. Do you know what I mean? Like there's always going to be, that's a different kind of friend. I don't think you actually randomly wake up one. I think it's quite hard. It must be quite hard to wake up randomly like your friend who you've been very much like a platonic.
I mean, it develops.
But do you not think that you can just wake up and fall out of love with someone? Because I think you can. So
I think that is also gradual. It's gradual. I think everything is more gradual than that because there must be reasons behind you then developing or undeveloping those feelings.
Yeah, but I feel like that always has
rather
to be
than maybe one day you realize that you're in love with them or not in love with them anymore. But to get to that point,
going back to Dimeji's initial point about like I feel like there are pros and cons to both, because like if you started off as friends first, then like there's obviously going to be that level of like respect and trust that you already know is like secure, if that makes sense. Whereas like again, like yeah, if you just start dating right off the bat and you didn't know each other before, then you're always kind of like probably questioning like their intentions. I guess it depends on like the character of the people too, because like if you start off as friends and then like you date and then you decide it doesn't work out, and then like some people like it's easy to just be friends again, but obviously for others it's not. So I guess it just depends. Like you have to kind of weigh up.
Seeing that person like have other relationships is like a big thing as well, because someone being in a relationship is very different to how they would be in a friendship. Like it's possible that someone could be amazing as a friend, but they can be a horrible like partner. Because like I have friends who like are amazing as friends, but like I don't like the way that they treat their partners, for example. So like if you don't see that, you might think that you have the best friendship ever and then end up to go south. But like
we've talked a lot in the past about like red flags in dating. Do you think red flags in like friendships are the same, and do you think it's easier to look past red flags in friendships? So Dimeji was saying, for example, you might ask a man or someone, are you a feminist? And they might say yes in a relationship, say something different in a friendship. Do you think how they would answer that question, you'd react differently if it was dating or relationship? Would it be like a deal breaker for dating, but you might carry on a friendship? Or do you think it's very much the same?
Yeah, I actually think this is really interesting, because I feel like in the there's stuff that like this is a red flag, like e.g. someone being like I'm anti like feminism, let's take that example. Like for me that would just be like that's fundamental issues, and like that's, I think because when you're dating someone you're seeing them as someone that you're going to spend every day with, or like it's like the long-term future of like this is who I'm going to have children with, like what morals are they going to project into our children, like all these things. And even if you're casually dating, it's like what energy am I sort of surrounding myself with, right? But with friendships, I think it depends how long we've been friends. I definitely think there's friends that I've been with, like friends with longer, that I probably do allow a bit more, just because I'm like, okay, we're friends, but like maybe there's a boundary in that friendship. Do you get what I mean? That's it. I think when there's red flags in friendships, you can kind of put boundaries in, and like depending how much that red flag affects you, you can put a boundary into how much you share with that person, how much you let that person in your life. Whereas I think it's more important in a relationship to look at those red flags and take them more seriously, because that person in essence there shouldn't be any boundaries in your relationship, and there shouldn't be anything that you can't discuss or like do with that person.
I may have misheard you, so I just wanted to clarify. Are you saying that there's more boundaries in a friendship than in a relationship? Than in a romantic relationship?
I'm saying that you can put those boundaries in a friendship. I think that like I think true friends, there isn't, like, easy with you guys, I would say there's no boundaries with like me and how I act towards you guys, but I definitely have friends in my life that like there's a certain capacity to our friendship, and it would never go beyond like, I don't know, me talking about maybe my political views, and we talk not so much political views. I think that's different. I think especially recently I've cut a lot of people out that don't align that way, but e.g. maybe like my personal issues, like maybe mental health, then maybe not people I'll discuss with, because they're not someone that maybe has the same attitude I do towards mental health. But I think in a relationship, it's important that they do have the same attitude, just because there shouldn't be any boundaries in that. Does that make sense?
I think I definitely have overlooked red flags in like new friendships, but as a friendship develops, if that's still a red flag, I don't think a friendship could develop cut deeper, if that makes sense. Yeah, like people that I like you meet and you become friends with, like, but it's not surface level, but it's just like it's not like your best friend basically. I just don't think it doesn't have like that much of a negative effect on me personally, so I feel like the red flag isn't like having any massive effect on me. That's why I kind of like ignore it as such.
So like with friendships, you can have friends that fill different like spaces in your life. So you might have a friend that is really, really fun, and that's your friend you go to if you want a really fun night out, but that might not be the person that you call if you're in trouble. Or you might have someone that you like trust with your biggest secret, but they might not be the person you want to go shopping with for the day or something like that. Or you might have people that you discuss politics with, or you might have people that you discuss popular culture with. Whereas I feel like it's easier in friendships to like put them into those different, fill the different spaces. Whereas when you're looking for like a partner in relationships, you almost need someone to fill all of them. Obviously,
you should be able to discuss everything. I feel like.
Exactly. You can't. If I had a friend who I can rely on, I would just know in my head, oh, okay, that might not be the most reliable person in my life, so I just won't go to them if I ever need something. That doesn't mean I have to like cut the friendship off. Whereas if I had a partner that I couldn't rely on, like that's gonna have to end, isn't it?
As I got older, obviously we're still young, like we're 22, like there's stuff that like I actually think back in maybe when I was younger, I would have like overlooked red flags in relationships because of things that like, I know, I think when you're younger you have this like image of a relationship, a romantic relationship, and in some ways, like in my opinion, it comes from like pop culture and like even like fairy tales and romance, where it's like you do whatever you can to make that relationship work. Whereas friends growing up were a bit more, not saying that friends are disposable, but they were a bit more disposable. There was more of them. You can kind of like, I think there was just more this attitude that you can always go make new friends. But growing up, I was like romantic relationships, if I found one person I could see in that capacity, I kind of had to hold on to it longer. Whereas now I actually think it's a reversal. Like I think that my friends, like e.g. like you guys that I found, like I do more to make that work, and e.g. would probably look over those flags for that reason, because that's something I've realized growing up is actually rarer to find true friends. Then now I wouldn't sacrifice that for a relationship, because I just feel like my idea of romantic relationships has changed with that as well.
You think you're better at spotting red flags in a friendship or a relationship? So for example, if you were like really into someone, you might like choose to ignore things, whereas like in a friendship you might see it more easily? Or do you think it's the other way around, because you're looking for them more in relationships, like dating?
Have like a crush on someone, you know, that like sort of middle period, I think you definitely overlook so much, because it's just like the intrigue, do you know what I mean? It's like when you're like have a crush on someone, like there's no consequence, like you're not actually going out with them, you're not actually like with them, so you can kind of overlook it. But then I think if you're getting serious with someone, then I feel like we're all much more in tune now with red flags and stuff, and I think we do go out looking for them a bit more, especially because like we discuss it as a group, do you know what I mean? Like I kind of feel like I wouldn't want to let you guys down. Like I look for the red flags so that you guys don't spot them, and I'm like, oh shit.
Like, by the way, I already know this, I already have this
I can't imagine bringing back like a boy and then you were all like, oh my god, he's like the worst, and I'd be like, oh.
I think though it's quite fun to like, not fun because maybe you end up in heartbreak, but like it's good to go through experiences sometimes. Maybe don't overanalyze like every single thing about someone, because like they might be doing the same to you, and like something that they've spotted as a red flag might actually not be like it might not seem that way. Like it might seem the type of way which it isn't, if that makes sense.
I think the problem these days is that like the smallest thing becomes a red flag. And that's
like,
really over.
This person did one thing.
When
and then it's like,
Red flag.
It culture.
Let's talk about it culture. Like, do you not think as well, like, again, growing up, I feel like I said, I probably would have put up with a lot more, and like this, like the ick was always something that I just thought, oh, like it's something you get over, or like it's just rare. But like, I don't know what it is, but the older I get, the more I get the ick.
Right, this is going to sound controversial because I do find the kind of ick videos funny, but I don't really agree with a lot of them. I just don't think they like them.
Oh,
But how can you say the
I
idea
just feel like
of a man
people.
like,
Sorry.
I don't know, walking, like, I don't know, all of these things, and I'm like, I just don't think you like them.
Like
Yeah, I
someone
think
jumping at a
people know
concert,
what
I like that one always makes me laugh because I'm like, but if I like that person, that's not gonna give me the
Yeah,
ick. Like
I
someone
think-
jumping at a concert is not gonna give me the ick.
If something like that is going to give you the ick, I think you were looking for something to be
Yeah, you were looking.
you know, like you were looking for a reason to be put off them, and that's all right. But I was like, I don't think you like this person.
I've done that, and I think you guys have seen me do that, like where I'm like, oh, I got the ick, but like realistically, I wanted an excuse to get the ick, and it's like,
Yeah, exactly, 100%. I think it's a choice you've made.
that's so true. Whereas I think people use the excuse, but but don't get me wrong, I do.
There are some icks. There are some icks. there are some icks.
No, like there's just, yeah, I'm not gonna list them because I feel like that is something people use. People are like, oh, they're like too into me or like too interested in me. It's like, no, you're just not interested enough.
People
That's
be
so
no,
true.
that's true though. That's so true though. Like if you are like,
Yeah.
like,
No,
like,
I'm gonna
why?
say,
Why
you
why
didn't like
is that
them.
to me?
You didn't like them, right? This is one of my biggest bugbears, and my friends at uni, we talk about this all the time because it's one of my biggest bugbears. It's people describing someone as too nice.
Oh,
You cannot
too
be
nice
too
is
nice.
not
Nice
a
is a
thing.
good thing. Nice is a good thing. You cannot describe someone as too nice as a bad thing. People are appropriating the word nice to mean wet. If you think that they're wet, just say wet.
That's
And they're like,
yeah.
oh, he's really nice. Like he's
They're
a bit
too
nice to me.
cringy or like, yeah.
Like, what do you mean he's too nice? Like, do you not respect yourself? Do you not want someone to be with you? I don't know. Like, you know, when it's like, so I've had friends go on dates, come back, how was it? Oh, he was too nice. And I'm like, what is the real issue here? I was like, it's not that he was too nice. You're just saying he's too nice. But really, you thought he was a wet wipe.
Yeah.
If you thought he was wet, just say that.
Do you not think that also like being too nice? I guess it's also that nice has like connotations of like boring as well. Like for me, I know there's people that like I've spoken to like, oh, they're just too nice. Like and then I relate
You
back.
don't mean that. You don't mean that, Sandy. He's boring. Just say it.
We
But
like a bad boy, don't we?
I relate that in the nicest, most respectful way to all of us. We're not the nicest of people. Like, do you get what I mean? Like we're quite like not
There's a lot of adjectives you'd use first before you
Yeah.
got to know.
nice as us as people, and not in a bad way. Like I just think that means we're very interesting people. But like I said, nice is
She just said she thinks we're really interesting.
We're very interesting people. Okay.
We think we're so interested. We've made a
Humanize it.
a video.
Is this only the second time we featured? The first being Get Ready With Me.
Oh my god, yeah.
Guys,
I've
if you
never been on here.
want to look back, it's almost like proof of our friendship, I guess. You can go down.
Yes, because we need the proof.
No, I look really ugly in it. Don't look.
There's
Don't
our
look. Don't look.
video of us getting ready for winter ball together, which is 4 years old now. Yeah, four.
No,
Yeah.
five. It was 20.
Was it in our first year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, 5.
Oh, wow. I had other
Oh
friends.
my
at
god,
that
that's
point.
actually disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
Andy,
I was your
Andy was
friend.
too cool for us.
No, that's not even true. I was trying to get into this friendship thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thanks so much, guys, for coming virtually. I enjoyed it. And hopefully, as Demeji pointed out earlier, this is a contract and there will be many more of these. I feel like we have a lot more to discuss. This was a warm
I didn't sign anything.
This is a
What
warm
if we only just started building up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the beginning.
It's gonna get better.
It's just good. It's up. It's going to It's just going to get better. Stay
There's a
tuned.
lot.
Our controversial opinions will be out here.
Watch.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of opinions.
I think we've really held back.
November. Well, we just all say our controversial opinions.
That's the next episode. There you go. Next episode will be most
Yeah.
controversial opinions.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay.
What should they do below?
Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Turn on that bell.
Thanks, Susanna. The only one. Anyway, I'm gonna now. So everyone say bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.